Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, children of all ages, we are going to review some math problems on adding and subtracting fractions. It seems as you were gone for Christmas break, some of you came back and are like, what is a number? I don't know what a number is. What might a fraction be?
Phone's ringing.
So actually, what I'm going to do is go over the four problems. Hey, Berto. Ryan Dansby. Okay.
Bye.
Ryan. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go over the math portion of those four questions that you did at the beginning of class. I'm not going to go through the words and read it and da-da-da-da-da-da-da-da. We're just going to talk about the problems themselves. The first problem you had was 4/5 subtract 7/15. Now let me ask you something. Can you subtract those two fractions the way they are currently written? No. Why can you not subtract those two fractions the way they're currently written? Jordan?
Because you said so.
Because I said so, but why did I say that? Chloe? They have unlike denominators. You may not, and I repeat, may not add or subtract with unlike denominators. So, the first thing I got to do is I got to find a common denominator for 5 and 15 because those are my two denominators. Those are my two denominators. The numbers on the bottom, the total number of pieces. So I list my multiples of 5 and my multiples of 15 until I find one that's in common. 5, 10, 15. Oh my goodness, look at that. My least common denominator is 15. My least common denominator is 15. So now what I need to do, I need to change these fractions so that they have a denominator of 15. But wait, I can't change the value. I can't change the value. However, if I multiply a fraction by something that equals 1, that's not changing the value. Because Riley Bird told me that 73 times 1 equals 73. Didn't change the value. So if I multiply 4/5 by a fraction that equals 1, I'm not going to change the value. I'm just changing what it looks like. And I know that my denominator has to be 15. So I ask myself, self, 5 times what is 15? And myself says?
3.
3. Now for a fraction to equal 1, it has to have the same numerator as it does denominator. Same numerator and denominator. So 3 over 3. Now watch, I'm going to teach you something that we're going to start here in a little bit. Multiplying fractions. When you multiply a fraction, you multiply straight across. 4 times 3 is 12. Multiplying fractions is much easier than adding and subtracting fractions. I'm just saying. 7/15 is already over 15. And I look here. I always go back and make sure I know if it's an addition or subtraction problem. Because when I mix them up like that, I get people go, oh, that was addition. I was supposed to subtract. And they're tears. And then they're like, can I redo it? And then I'm like, no. A nice teacher would let you. But I'm not that. So then we have 12/15. Subtract 7/15. And I get...
Oh.
5:15.
5/15.
15. I didn't know.
But guess what? If you put 5/15 on the paper, then you would get it marked wrong. You would get it marked wrong. Because it can be simplified.
Oh, yeah.
And to simplify a fraction, I take my numerator and denominator. Are you laying on the floor for a reason back there? Oh, okay. And I list my factors of my numerator and denominator. So my factors of 5 are 1 and 5. I know that because it's prime.
Yep.
A prime number has only 2 factors. 15, however, has 1 times 15 and 3 times 5. So that's composite because it has more than 2 factors. And then I look at my lists. They have a 1 in common. They have a 5 in common. So my greatest common factor equals 5. The greatest common factor equals 5. What do you do with that? Well, I take my greatest common factor and I divide both my numerator and denominator by that greatest common factor. And 5 divided by 5 is?
1.
And 15 divided by 5 is?
3.
Again, I divided this by a fraction that equals 1. If I divide something by 1, I'm not changing the value. I'm changing the way it's written. So that would be the first problem. The second one freaked people out because it had 3 addends. It had 5/3. Yeah, but that's like an improper fraction.
3/4.
It had 3/4
And 5/6.
and had 5/6. And doing all the math, we figured out we had to add. This was the homework question, right?
I don't know.
Didn't they ask, they did this much homework on one day and this much homework on another day? Okay.
Yes.
For the love of Pete, did you guys even look at the words?
Yes, we did. I think.
Now we have to take our divisors. 3, 4, and 6, and we got to find the least common divisor, least common multiple. And if I look at my multiplication chart, that's pretty easy. It is 12. So I'm going to change these so that they're all over 12. I'm going to multiply by a fraction that equals 1 for each of them. By a fraction that equals 1 for each of them. So what fraction that equals 1 should I multiply 5/3 by? Carly? 4. And I know that, and Carly knows that because 3 times 4 is 12. We need the fraction to equal 1, so it must have a 4 at the top. 4/4 equals 1. 5 times 4 is? 20. What do I multiply 3/4 by? 3/3. And my new numerator is?
9.
Boy, if you could see my face, it's really looking at you mean and angry right now.
2.
What do I multiply 5/6 by?
2.
2/2. And I get 10/12. I go back and I see this is an addition problem. Remember to always do that. Always do that.
Always.
So then I just add 20 plus 10 is 30, 30 plus 9 is 39. And that stays over 12. Chloe, what kind of fraction is that? It is an improper fraction. I cannot leave a fraction improper. Can't do it. No, 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 no. Well, I mean, you could, but you'd get it wrong. So to change an improper fraction to a mixed number, I have 39 divided by 12, which is what this says. 39 divided by 12. A fraction is simply a division problem. 39 divided by 12. I'm going to change this to a mixed number. So how many times is 12 going to 3? It doesn't. How many times is 12 going to 39?
Ow.
3 times.
3.
And 3 times 12 is 36. This 3 is going to be my whole number. My quotient is my whole number. 39 minus 36 is? 3. So I have 3 remainder 3. This 3 is my numerator. Denominator stays the same. 3 and 3/12. But wait, there's more. I need to simplify 3/12. My answer is going to have 3 as a whole number, because you don't simplify your whole number. So I got to find the factors of 3 and the factors of 12. 3 is a prime number, so it would be just 1 and 3. 12, 1 and 12, 2 and 6, 3 and 4. So they have a 1 in common and they have a 3 in common. So that means I divide both my numerator and denominator by 3.
3.
And 3 divided by 3 is?
1.
12 divided by 3 is?
4.
So my answer would be 3 and
1 4.
1/4. That's a lot of writing. I know. And I know some of you sat there, I'm not looking at you in particular. Some of you sat there with no paper or pencil out and just put answers down for some of these questions, if you bothered to do them. That's a lot of work. It's a lot of work, which means there should be a lot of writing. I'm sorry.
It's okay.
Don't be sad. 11/8 minus 5/6. 11/8 minus 5/6. Let me all put 5/6 minus 11/8 and then that wouldn't work. So now I gotta take my two denominators, which are 6 and 8. I gotta find my least common denominator, which is
12. 16. I don't know.
24. Let's do this. We'll work it out. 12, 18, 24, 8, 16, 24. My least common denominator is 24. So I need to change both these fractions so that they have a numerator of 24 without changing the value. So I multiply each of these by a number a fraction that equals 1. 11/8, what do I multiply by? 3. I can look over here or I can look at a multiplication chart. I multiply by 3/3. My new numerator is 33. Some of you who didn't do well on this are not paying attention, which hurts my feelings. 5/6, what do I multiply by there?
4.
4/4. And again, I can look here. I can look if I have a multiplication chart. And that would be 5 times 4 is? Yes, it is. I go over and I make sure I have my sign correct. Then I have 33/24 minus 20/24, and I get 13/24. Is that a proper fraction? Yes, because the numerator is smaller than the denominator. But I need to see if I can simplify it. So I'm going to list my factors of 13, my factors of 24. 13 is prime, so it only has 1 in 13. 24 has, let's see, 1 times 24,
6 times 4.
2 times 12, 3 times 8, 4 times 6. Okay, so those are all my factors of 24. I see what they have in common. The only thing they have in common is 1. If the only thing they have in common is 1, that means that's already in lowest terms. It's simplified all the way down. Yeah, dividing it by 1 would just give me 13/24. Literally. Oh, this one was fun. 3 1/4 plus 2 3/4. Do they have the same denominator?
Yes.
And this is easy peasy, raw chicken squeezy. Let's start with our whole numbers. What's 3 plus 2? 5. What's 1/4 plus 3/4?
4/4.
4/4.
Oh, so it's 6.
No, it's not 51. It's 6. Because I have 5 holes, and I'm adding one more hole to it, so that would be a total of 6. A total of 6. Because I have 5 whole dollar bills, and then I divided the other dollar bills into 4 parts, and I got 4 quarters for it, so then I have $6. Know what I'm saying, Thomas? You know what I'm saying? Boom! Shakalaka, peace out. God bless, love you. Do something kind today.
Save the
Save the bees.